Hey, what's up, guys? Gene Fetty back at you with another episode, truck talk video, whatever we're going to call these. I haven't landed on it yet. I'm sure truck talk, TOK, is already taken. Otherwise, I would maybe just go start a channel doing these. Anyways, we are at the beginning of December 2025. If you follow any of my podcasts or anything like that, you'll know that 2025, really even into 2024, has been challenging in business, to say the least. Just this morning, I was messaging a good friend of mine who's having an even more difficult year than I am. And we were both, call it back and forth, I can't wait for 2025 to be over. And there's a part of me that's cool with ho-hum, oh man, it sucks, what are we gonna do? And I let myself fall into that occasionally. But what I wanted to make this video about is how I stay out of that. Because I talked to another friend who lives in like ho-hum. And man, I don't know if you let yourself stay in a negative space, you kind of attract negativity. I don't know, maybe that's a little woo-woo. But I feel like that's it, right? Just, if you think it sucks, it's probably going to suck. And if you think things are great, it's probably going to be pretty great. Which is cool, right? Control a little bit of your own destiny. But back to what brought me to today's video, or this video. Maybe it's not today. Maybe it's next week before I get it uploaded. Anyways. It's easy to get down in the dumps. And, man, why is this happening? Why is that happening? A moment of clarity I had quite a few years ago about life is that if we can stop and turn around and look back at our life, we can see how seemingly bad things or seemingly insignificant things change the entire direction or course of our life. For me, a bunch of them, but for me, we're on a PDR page. One of the I call them dots. Like if you look back and see a dot, it's a dot on a map to get us where we were to where we are today. One of the big dots for me was I used to do windshield repair when I was trying to get this business going. And I had a dealership that I would stop at and do windshield repairs, but I didn't touch their dents. They had a dent guy they liked. I knew who he was, and I just sort of steered clear, and not to mention I wasn't very good. But I pulled in one particular day, and I saw a dent guy with a fog board instead of a light. Right, a different tool than the normal guy uses. So I go in and I'm like, hey, Howard was the dude's name. I'm like, hey, Howard, you got any windshields you need done? Whatever. Who's the dent guy? And he's like, oh, that's Jay. You've got to go meet Jay Dinger. His last name wasn't Dinger, but they called him Dinger because he fixed dings. So I go out, I meet Jay, we hit it off. Long story short, Jay ends up becoming my mentor and took me from the brink of quitting or potentially quitting and giving up on this trade and dialed me in and set me on the path that I'm on today. That was the only day that Jay ever made those rounds and came through that part of town. If I didn't stop in at that exact time, I wouldn't have met Jay, but I may have given up, and I may not even be sitting here talking to you on my dent repair channel about life, right? Like, it's just funny how things work out. Now, that's not a bad story. I wasn't having a bad day. It wasn't anything like that. It's just by chance. Well, here, let me give you a bad one. 16 years old, driving home from work. My buddy House stopped by, and we were going to his house for something, And in his neighborhood, the roads split into two-way roads, high road and a low road. And I was like, hey, dude, you want to race? And he's like, oh, yeah, let's race. So we go. Thank God he didn't race or I might have killed him. Literally. I wrecked my truck. Bad. Total my truck. Probably, definitely should have been hurt. Potentially even killed. Like, it was a nasty, nasty accident. I get a ticket. I get a court date. The court date gets moved at least once, maybe twice. When court date finally gets here, my dad, who was always a stickler for get up, go to work, go to school, be on time, no days off, decided to give me the day off on my court date. Got up, we went to court, won the case or got thrown out for whatever reason. Took my mom to lunch, come home that afternoon, and my dad dies at the kitchen table. When I'm going through the thick of it, when I think things are hard, I just try to keep the perspective that we are exactly where we were supposed to be, when we were supposed to be there, doing exactly what we're supposed to do. And it's not always easy, but I really push myself to trust the process. Trust the trip, right? The destination is what you're looking for. So I guess I say that because this morning I was, beating myself up, making some apologies for things that were shortcomings for me this year due to just the way the things went. Like, it just is what it is. But I let myself fall down into that, hole a little bit of the, oh, this sucks, I can't believe this. And I thought about sharing it. And then as the day went on and I wasn't sure, well, I just left one of my body shops, and the owner of the shop, I think it was the day he got the diagnosis. I beat lung cancer. They took part of his lung or a whole lung out. A couple years later, diagnosed with inoperable terminal bone cancer. Say they can't do anything for him except for, numb the pain. They take care of all that. Turns out he beat it. I don't know how he beat it, but he beat it. He doesn't know how he beat it, but he beat it. When I was leaving his shop today, I said, hey, have a good day. He goes, man, every day is a good day. I'm above ground, I'm breathing. We get to do this, we get to do it again. Who am I to argue? Who am I to sit around and bitch and moan and cry that I'm having a difficult year? That's nothing, right? And all of the not so great stuff that's happened this year, clearly, I have to trust it. It's happened for a reason. Because down the road, it could be next week, it could be tomorrow, it could be next year, I'll be able to turn around and look back with clarity and see that dot that is 2024 into 2025. And I will be like, oh, okay. That's why X, Y, and Z happened. I get it now. So anyways, that's it. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying these. I think this is number 3 of Truck Talk. No real wisdom that was given to me by somebody else, but it's wisdom that I try to hold myself and clarity I try to stick with. And dadgummit, as my buddy Danny would say, it is a good day, right? We're above ground, or we're breathing air, and I get to drive around in my truck and talk to a camera and do life. So, hope that helps somebody out with a little bit of perspective. I will catch you guys on the next one. See ya.